Madden NFL 18 can best be described with one word: disappointed. This is the first Madden I bought since Madden 25. I couldn't get into it at all. I stopped playing after about a month, but unfortunately, Madden 18 lasted even shorter. There's been a lot of hype this summer regarding its new Frostbite engine and story mode, and I was relatively excited to get back into the series. But it looks like I didn't miss much, as it ultimately feels like the same Madden I remember from 4 years ago. So let's get into it. Right away, this game makes a bad first impression. I started off using the skills trainer to get used to the controls and new additions, and I started running into problems, like with the tackle battle drill, where you get into a battle with either the defender or running back depending on what side of the ball you're on, and have to immediately press a button prompt or you lose the battle. Well, first of all, on all Madden you have about 0.03 seconds to press the button, but besides that, it takes forever to even trigger the prompt. I went through over 30 attempts without ever getting the chance to engage in a battle, and I just quit, because it's stupid. The presentation for games is impressive enough. I mean, they definitely put a lot of effort and energy into capturing the feel of NFL games. The commentary is decent. It's tough to keep play-by-play fresh in a game since they can only record so many lines, but Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis do a good enough job. The sound design in the game is also very detailed, especially in the crackling of helmets and pads, and the crowd sounds and looks alive, even if sometimes they're not always standing up and sitting down at the right times. And as a Saints fan, I love that they chant "Who Dat" in the Superdome.
Wasted down. The Raiders on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third.
But I ran into so many instances of players going through each other's bodies like they were ghosts, ignoring the rules of physics, textures and artifacts popping in and out. Too many of the players' faces look like emotionless robots. One of my biggest problems with sports games is when the developers force the athletes to play with their mouths closed. It just looks awkwardly fake. Although the game does have some of the players talking, well, it's really more like mumbling amongst themselves. You never see them smiling, frowning, or breathing in deeply for air. Like real football players do during games. Some of the player models just look scary. Some have their eyes wide open, like they just walked in on their parents. These broken physics and lifeless expressions are more expected on PS3 titles from 2010, not next-gen consoles in 2017. It's nice that they have Antonio Brown dancing in the end zone after a touchdown, but it doesn't look like he's having any fun. I've never been a huge fan of Ultimate Team. I played it a little bit on Madden 25, so I'm not going to go into it too much in detail. But I played a couple hours and it seems like you can progress decently without having to spend actual money, although I'm sure you progress a lot faster if you do. I got to level 10 in about 2 hours, doing mostly solo challenges, and you can earn XP and packs at a pretty good rate, although the challenges get a bit stale. I should mention too that the game gives good tutorials on everything, so even if you're new to the series, you won't feel lost. You can also generate lineups based on chemistry, or if you just want the best overall lineup, the game will construct it for you. Now, franchise mode has always been my go-to mode, and well, it sure does suck this year. I created a high draft pick, balanced quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, and he's terrible. He misses wide open receivers, throwing interceptions most of the time, all while having well above average attributes. But honestly, I can take it. Since it's all Madden, the lower difficulties are way too easy, you get touchdowns on every drive, but your teammates' skills and AI are atrocious. No matter who your running back is, he gets stuffed constantly, averaging barely 2 yards per carry. And even when he doesn't get stuffed, he's putting on juke moves for no reason when he could just turn it upfield for more yards. Your wide receivers drop way too many passes. I'm talking roughly 10 per game. And they also juke non-existent defenders and fail to gain substantial yardage. Now before you say, oh, it's the 49ers, they're terrible. Fine. But I tried it with 2 other teams. Same identical result. Now at this point, I feel that the game is pretty average. But this is where it all gets way worse. Longshot mode. The new career/story mode brought to the Madden series. Why is it so bad? It's just about the most poorly written, cliched, and lifeless story you've ever experienced. The plot revolves around Devin Wade, former 5-star piece of cardboard who gives up football after, yeah, you guessed it, his father dies in a car accident. So Wade embarks on a journey to fulfill his lifelong dream and make it to the NFL. And helping him along on his journey is his loyal best friend, Colt Cruz, former disgraced coach Jack Ford, seeking his own redemption, slimy, snake-like TV producer Ross Fountain, and the sweet, helpful producer Julia. He even brought in Academy Award-winning actor Mahershala Ali to play Wade's father. Although they barely use him, he barely has any lines. The gameplay during this story is almost non-existent. It's mostly quick-time events. I think developers incorporate QTE sequences when they run out of ideas and can't think of a way to immerse the player in the game. There's also this really awkward steer the ball mechanic where you use the left stick to guide the pass to the receiver. But anyway, you keep flashing back to your high school days as you develop into an NFL prospect under Ford's guidance. Along the way, you are given choices that will either positively or negatively affect your character and football IQ. You can check your scouting report in the pause menu at any given time to see how you're doing. It all culminates with a series of challenges that will determine whether or not you are drafted into the league. The story itself takes about 3 hours to complete. That's it, 3 hours. I played through it 3 times in 2 days, making different choices each time to see what the different endings are. But there's almost no payoff. You don't even take one single snap in the league. The only way to keep it going is through the solo challenges in Ultimate Team. But probably the biggest problem I have with Longshot mode is with Devin. He's so unlikable. He's like cardboard. His facial expression never changes. Now, it's either a problem with the animators or the writers and/or director, but either way, it's a problem. To make matters worse, there is some of the most poorly written dialogue and fall completely flat jokes I've ever seen. Here's some examples.
You gotta respect the king. Telling you that Smizniak is your safer choice.
What is safe about a guy whose last name will literally break your autocorrect?
I'm a wide receiver.
I always knew there was something off about you.
Think you know what a thyroid is?
Yeah, it's right here, man.
That's your thigh.
I'm gonna kick you right in the thyroid. You keep lipping off.
Jack, 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 Jack! You know what? You're fired!
Calm down.
Calm down? You're fired! Ah! Give me Smizniak!
I'm gonna show these guys just how fast a cruise missile really is.
I tried really hard to get something out of this game. I really did. But I can't. I have no desire to pick it up again. Its awkward physics, clumsy AI, and paper-thin Longshot mode make this game insufferable. My final score for Madden NFL 18 is a 4 out of 10. It's not worth $60. It's not worth $50. It's way too similar to the last Madden game I played, Madden 25, 4 years ago. I don't understand why these developers slap a new coat of paint on last year's product, add a new feature or two, and say, okay, we got it. I expected much more innovation in a 4-year period than this. My advice, if you need your football fix, wait until the price drops, or rent it. Or just go outside and play football. You'll have a better time, I promise. Well, that's it. Please feel free to comment down below and share your thoughts. And as always, thanks for watching.